Hey guys, subscribe for daily content, and if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got another interesting knife review / knife overview to share with you guys. This is the Herman Knives Ovium Gen 2 or Ovium 2. I actually have a video on the original Ovium. This has a different, handle silhouette, a different blade silhouette, and I think this is the biggest knife that they've ever done. I have a few little, thoughts and things here. This is a Herman knife, and a lot of Herman knives, operate the same and look fairly similar. This one, I think, is probably their most unique overall look. And it is a super functional large knife. I want to point out here that this is not actually titanium Damascus. What they've done here is they've milled this. This is actually, you can feel it. These deeper parts, the black parts are actually deeper, and then the top parts are actually like subtly eggshell textured. It's really cool. And then we've got some texturing, of course, on the back spacer and the pocket clip, and a nice high polished stonewash finish on the blade. Another example of what makes Herman knives so appealing to a lot of people. These are very expensive knives. They're made small batch in Poland. But what makes them so appealing is not just, they're using premium steel and handle materials. It's not just that, but they have, it seems like a nearly endless range of finishes and textures and colors, and they use wild materials, and even we see them, use the materials or finish the materials or texture materials in ways that we don't normally see. We see laser work that is beyond comprehension in stuff like the Tesseract finish. It's unbelievable. So Herman knives are very expensive, and they are definitely top tier, ultra high end. Probably best to refer to them as mid-tech. You could say custom in some cases, but your ultra high-end mid-tech category of knives, right? Same tier as something like your Shirogorov knives, like really high-end production knives. But obviously, there's hand tuning, hand finishing, hand assembling in many cases, stuff like that. But very appealing to people looking to spend that type of money. I'll go ahead and say this at the beginning. I believe the least expensive Ovium that I could find listed that was a recent listing was an absolutely plain Jane version of it in Magna Cut, which comes in at about $737. So I believe your base pricing is still somewhere between $700 and $750. But basic versions of these pocket knives are actually, they seemingly more rare than the really expensive or in-between stuff. I really think that Herman knives should probably produce more of their plain Jane standard stuff for people looking to kind of, test out Herman knives and not have to spend $1,000, $1,500, $2,000, $3,000, stuff like that. But this is a cool knife. I think it's obviously going to appeal to people who already love Herman knives. If you are, if you've never heard of Herman knives, or you've been spending $40, $50, $100, $200 on pocket knives, this is probably not going to be for you. But we still want to cover it because on this channel I cover all price ranges, or as many as I possibly can. Thanks so much to Herman Knives for sending this in. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me, and make sure your notifications are turned on for the Metal Complex YouTube channel. Let's get through specs here pretty quick. Overall length of the Ovium Gen 2 is actually 9.35 inches. That is crazy. 9.35 inches. Blade length is 4 1/4, and your cutting edge is about 4.2. This is a big knife. Let's go ahead and put it up against, let's do some size comparisons. Any custom scales you find in this section can be found down in the description under Original Goat and Others, up against my own Excalibur, which is not a small knife at 8.5 inches, but it looks small compared to the Ovium. And also something like the Demco Shark Cub. We'll put it up against the Spyderco PM2 and the Spyderco Para 3. Obviously still big. And then finally, we'll put it up against the Benchmade Griptilianer, in this case, the Ritter Hogue and the Hogue Deca. How is the action on this knife? It's very good. It's a Herman knife, so the action is super duper crazy fall shut. This particular Ovium has the heaviest flipping detent of any pocket knife I have ever experienced, and I mean that. It's ridiculous. I have figured out exactly where I need to put my finger on this, but something that I've seen with Herman knives is that the detent strength can vary widely. Often on smaller models, the detent is much lighter. Now they can tune this, and I think they still offer, like if you don't like the detent on yours, I think they still offer to adjust it if you want to send it to them. And I think the turnaround time is pretty quick. On bigger knives, you definitely get a heavier detent on average. On this one, I would say the detent is like 20 to 30% heavier than any other Herman knife I've ever experienced. And it's also at least that much heavier or close to than, I mean, like the heaviest detent knife that I have in my collection other than this is my full-tie XM24. This is probably 15 to 20% heavier. This is crazy. It's almost too much, but man, when you do finally overcome it, the blade just rockets out into the open position. It's wild. The pivot action is great. You got to be careful when you're tightening these pivots. It does still come with a tool, or this one did. I think they all do now. And of course the pivot lube there. Do not over tighten these. You absolutely can crack the bearings. Real quick here, just because I've got the box open, I'll show you the card. I do love that they will tell you the exact HRC and M390 at 61. Obviously, huge thumbs up there. Very, very cool. They do LMAX. They do MagnaCut. Obviously, M390, M398. They work with Damasteel. They work with Damacor. They work with Ballbach Damast. They work with, what's the other one? Alera? Damax or something like that. A lot of different blade materials. They do different blade finishes, different blade texturings, all over the place. I think their HRC range is really good too. Obviously, their ability to machine and finish and all of that stuff is just getting better and better and better. And they have some of the widest variety that you're going to see in the space that they exist in. I mean, the variety of Herman knives in general is absolutely ridiculous. I'm sorry if I keep saying Hinder. They both begin with H, but really cool. Your access to the lock bar is very good. Obviously, no double clutch. Very easy to get the blade to fall down into the closed position. So I'm going to wipe this little booger off of the blade there real quick. Hardware check. I'll get out my tools as per usual. My tools are very inexpensive and very recommendable. You can find them right down in the section of my description. It talks about the tools I use in this channel. You can also use the tool that it comes with right here to adjust the pivot. Now, to my knowledge, there's no additional tool that it comes with to adjust the body screws, and this will only fit the pivot there. But the body screws, without actually messing with it, are this fits absolutely perfectly, by the way. The body screws are still T6, and so are the pocket clip screws. So very easy to take apart. Just be really careful when you're tightening everything back down. Those bearings are awesome, but they are super hard and absolutely can crack. As long as you have the right tools for the job, you should be good to go. Let's go ahead and measure the blade stock thickness, which, you know, it's always a lot easier to do when you've got your calipers handy and ready to go. Here we go. Blade stock thickness on this version of the Ovium coming in at 130 thousandths. So about middle of the road. Weight on the new Ovium is, I'm going to guess, probably 4.5 to 5 ounces. It's a lot, but there is quite a bit of milling on the inside for weight reduction. So let's see here. What do you weigh, big boy? 4.9 ounces is about what I thought. Honestly, still pretty good ratios. I mean, it's got, you know, over a 4-inch blade, so not bad. Meat and potatoes time. This is a big knife, but it is absurdly comfortable. Ridiculously comfortable. I love that they angled that flipper tab up a little bit so you're not mashing your finger into this downward spike, right? I also love on this particular one, we've got that textured finish there on the flats of the blade. That's beautiful. The blade shape is about as utilitarian as it gets. We have subtle belly, an unbelievably sticky, sharp factory edge. Love that little sort of harpoon notch up there. I guess it's Warncliffey with a belly, so whatever you want to call it. But great for draw cuts, slicing, continuous cutting. Obviously, the high polished stone wash is going to, you know, keep drag minimized. Really cool. I love their finish work. It just always looks unique. They have, varying degrees of polish work available. They will mirror polish a blade. They have a higher polish finish than this. They have a matte, almost acidy stone wash that they do. They have a more like machine satin finish that they do. It's crazy. They do so many. And it's so consistent too. I love it. The pattern, not going to be for everybody, but it's neat that they can do it. Backspacer, kind of random, but it looks good. I mean, they'll do combos that are, sort of weird and contrasting, and other times they'll do everything matched together. It just kind of depends, right? The liner on this one is subtly anodized. I think they just decided to match it to the pocket clip. Obviously, the most standard version of this would be a plain, smooth, or very lightly textured handle. Just all stone wash, same with the pocket clip and the backspacer. I don't believe this finish is standard. I think their normal, like non-reflective stone washing is standard, and I think those are the ones that you can expect to find between $700 and $750. Something like this is going to cost you more for the finish, for the texturing, the machining here, and the anodizing, machining, all of that when it comes to the pocket clip and the backspacer as well. Let's see here. In and out of the pocket, very similar experience to other Herman knives. When you get something that has heavy depth to the texture like this, you are absolutely going to fight it. So if that's something that would bother you, don't get something like this, because in and out of the pocket, yeah, absolutely, you can feel it. That depth there is absolutely going to slow you down. So if you don't want to deal with that, go with a smooth finish, or like their vertical, their horizontal, like wavy lines. Those aren't nearly as bad. It's very light texturing. So your backspacer still has that sort of like, it comes to a point there right at the end. That's pretty cool. Sorry, my fingernails look gross today. The pivot on this one is textured on the front and the back. On the standard ones, I think it's just polished. You can see there how hard that is to flip. I really had to push hard. I would be very surprised if all Oviums have a detent strength like this. This really feels massively over the top. So your stop pin is located. It is super smooth. I'm trying to keep control of that blade right here. In the open position, it contacts this part of the blade, which has some light shouldering there. Closed position actually stops behind the flipper tab, so there is no contact anywhere near the plunge grind, which I'll let you guys take a look at right there. You can decide for yourself if you like that or not. There is no blade play up, down, left, or right. There is no lock stick. There's no hint of it. No pivot lash. Very smooth and consistent in here. Obviously, the detent is insane. It's an insane detent, and we have absolutely laser perfect centering on this. Much like other Herman knives, it's really great. With Herman knives, you're going to largely get the same type of package between each knife. What's different is the overall handle shape, the overall blade shape, the size, etc. Once you figure out, which model from Herman knife you like, then it's about figuring out what type of handle finish you want, what type of handle texturing. Do you want anodizing? Do you want an inlay? Do you want the entire thing to be made out of black Damascus? That'll cost you, right? I've seen them do gold textured PVD on handles. I've seen them DLC Damasteel and then polish it. That's shadow Damasteel. We don't see that very often. They do it. With Herman knives, often it's just about waiting until you see exactly what you want. But most Herman knives are fairly or entirely unique. That's just kind of the magic of the brand. So, is this a knife that I recommend to the average person? No. Oh my God. At base, it's a $700 knife. It's crazy. But if you're looking to spend that much money on a pocket knife, are Herman knives worth checking out? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You're not just paying for heat treatment, blade steel, and handle material. No. If that's what you're after, buy yourself a nice premium Chinese knife. They're way less expensive, and if that's where you're putting your value, if that's where your value system is, there you go. You have multiple oceans of that stuff available to you. It is not worth your time to complain about stuff like this, because you need to get busy looking at everything else that's available. In fact, you could spend multiple lifetimes looking at a fraction of what is available to you. You simply do not have enough time to complain about the existence of something like this. you have too much work to do. I've beat that horse. The horse is dead. But for people looking to spend this type of money and you want more in terms of finish work, in terms of overall fit and finish, the feeling of action, right? The specialty finish work, specialty hand tuning, assembly, all of that. You want it to be more unique. You want something that more love and care has been put into. You want something that does not feel mass-produced. Well, yeah, absolutely, Herman knives. In fact, while their prices can get absolutely outrageous, I think they offer some of the best dollar-for-dollar quality in this hyper premium tier. They do have a lot of competition, but as far as uniqueness goes, and as far as your I don't want to just say variations, as far as your options, I guess. Let's put it that way. There are more options, and there's more unique looks and finishes and things through Herman knives than anybody else who sells pocket knives at the same price point. So yeah, this isn't going to be for everybody, and it's obviously not made for everybody, and I'm definitely not going to recommend it to everybody. But for people looking in this tier, Herman knives are super recommendable. That's going to be it today, guys. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe, because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.